Okay, welcome to this. Says Aurora Open, but it's actually the size of Seifer Seasonal Cup. A little bit of a typo there on Abercrombie's behalf. Well, not on their behalf. They actually the one who made the typo. So, anyway, Seifer Seasonal. So very zzaarroocc started with very Seifery deck lineup coming with three red decks actually and a green deck just to balance it out. Home plate here. Going for a bit of variety, we have seems like also a red mid-range, yellow tempo here, and what looks to be like a Cragthorn deck, and this blue-yellow could be Swarm. But yeah, zzaarroocc rocking a bargain deck. It looks like two mid-range decks, or it could be a burn and a mid-range. We'll have to see. But yeah. Okay, going for the first bans. Looks like it is. Okay, banning the green. Home play is very confident about this, about winning the red, even keeping his own red lineup. Would have thought the Cragthorn would have been okay. Changing his mind now, yeah, starting to realize he's got a few red decks. It might be useful to just ban one of those. I think the yellow should be able to deal with the green fairly easily anyway, so not too much of a problem here. He wants to probably ban either the bargain or the burn here. He decides to go for the maybe it's more what he might think is the burn. Never know. Zzaarroocc starting off with a green fear first could be a dangerous choice depending on what home plate goes for, but I think he's just saving his stronger decks, more flexible decks for the second and third game. Okay, so this is first game of home plate versus zzaarroocc. We also have Moonfasa on the other side of the bracket there, casting as well. If you want to watch his games, well, he's not playing today, but he will be casting the other games as well. Okay, so I'm very interested to see how zzaarroocc plays this green deck. Home plate going for. I think we did see this deck in the previous open with the volley with the destructive volley here. But this is his mid-range deck. And zzaarroocc starting off with the Wells with the Volpine, just so he can get some early collection going. Two Wood Elementals. Oh, he's got the Blossom and Kodama. Could this be a Tree of Everlife deck? This very well might be. Of course, does very well against red. Home plate should be looking to go very aggressive at the moment, trying to secure his double collection. Trying to get some Act Grinder spots as well. He does not want to wait until this Blossoming Kodama comes out. But with the first Wood Elemental down, he is actually ready to put the Dwardia on board next turn. And this should be a bit of a problem for zzaarroocc. I mean, for home plate. Okay, so yeah, home plate making his way up, using the Explore to get the extra reach. Although I feel like Having the explore here is pretty. Is not. I think you'd rather want the mountain here, since then you can place your creatures on this land and collect and be a bit closer, rather than like having to forcing it to play back here if you want to have the collection. And like the land being like the neutral being here is okay because there's nothing really to summon, because you want the red to be on this tile here so that you get the axe grinder spot. Obviously we'll get denied by zzaarroocc. Dropping down a fat golem there, 5 attack, 10 health. Going to be pretty difficult to deal with. Well, I would say difficult, but there definitely are some options for home plate. He has the Emperor's Command so that he doesn't deal too much damage, only does 3 damage instead of 5. Still would take 2 hits to kill the Seifer though, so not ideal. Has the axe grinder and can place an axe grinder on the spot. Not the best spot, but it is a spot. But either way, he is stuck. I would probably put the mountain here. Yeah, decides to put the mountain there but not play the axe grinder just yet. Therian Golem now on 8 health, so is susceptible to a flame burst, so he could be traded in flame burst if he manages to draw one. But I think he needs to start. He needs to make the mountain here as well at some point. Probably not now. zzaarroocc has a lot in hand. Dwardia could be coming out here, making a lot of value. Could be moving the Zephyr Volpine onto the right side to trade, and then Dwardia could be collecting while gaining health and attack. Kodama, obviously, the 2 Kodamas here are going to ramp him all the way to 10 very quickly. So I think the plan for him right now is probably to maintain the amount of fairy that he has whilst trying to draw for this trio Everlife. He wants this to get out very quickly. If it gets out before home plate manages to sneak any creatures to his face, it should be GG for zzaarroocc. Should be the first win. Okay, decides to step the golem back. So he does give home plate the space here, but Dwardia is coming out, and she should be able to trade with one of these, with either the Seifer or the Ground Shaker. I think that's what he's trying to go for at the moment. So home plate probably looking to draw a Flame Burst right now. Herald of War in his hand. I don't think it's something he wants to play at all, really. Very, very small amounts of attack. Does increase the combat. For example, if he wants to play another Brigand out, but I don't think he needs to. Okay, goes for double neutral. Brings the Seifer back. He wants to save that for another day. And then Axe Grinder is coming out. Yeah, I mean, these Axe Grinders are going to be 5 attack for free Farrier, so you might as well try and get these out as soon as possible. Is he going to trade? I think he wants to trade the Earth Shaker, right? The Ground Shaker. Actually, I don't know. He probably wants to keep it alive so that he can't summon anything else. He's forced to make another forest here. Because this golem is not going to die. So yeah, he's forced to make another forest instead of drawing, which is not really what he wants to do at the moment. He wants to be trying to draw for his win condition. Moby is out though. Dordia marching down the left side. Along with the Volpine. So Homeplate not really getting the cards that he wants. It's a lot of creatures. I think he's looking for his Flame Burst here. But he takes a nice trade onto the Kodama. Second Axe Grinder coming out. Is he going to bring... I think he wants to bring out the Herald of War. He wants that combat to go off. He needs to start also thinking about his face as well. Also, Zzaarroocc saving this Wood Elemental just so that he can taunt face in case there is some sort of race. Seek Shelter has also come into his hand. So some more taunts for him to stall while he... I think he wants to commit to the Dwardia going down the left side. Honestly, I would have liked to see him double neutral there. If he double neutrals there and then he can play the next forest, he should be able to attack this turn. I mean next turn. If he's going for that plan of racing. So Homeplate going for the Seek Shelter, and then he finds a Grove Guardian, so that's going to help him stall out for a bit longer. Also got the Moby there as well, so if anything gets too scarily close, can eat it. Okay, Recurocopter coming out for the Flame Burst on the Grove Guardian, clearing that. And we have a 3/3 Ethereum Golem here, so Zzaarroocc is pretty tight on Faria. Only 5 Faria, not too much. Ends up trading the Recurocopter, placing another Golem down, and feeding it just so they can get enough Faria. Although it's probably it might have been even better for him to just keep it there at that point. Dwardia now changing sides, deciding to clear, and Moby coming down to eat the Seifer. So now Zzaarroocc has managed to essentially full clear for the time being. No Flame Burst for the Moby. So, oh, there is one Flame Burst, but he will need to find another one. Axe Grinder coming down. In range of Dwardia though, so he could get traded. If Zzaarroocc wants to, that is. So now Zzaarroocc going for the aggressive has the Moby to do some damage here, and then manages to place a forest so that he can play a Blossoming Kodama at his face. So yeah, home plate in a bit of a sticky situation now. No creatures on board to collect. It's only on 4th area now 1, and this tiny brigand is not really going to do much against this huge whale. Meanwhile, Zzaarroocc is able to collect on the left side here, able to keep up the Farrier. Doesn't need feed anymore really. Could place a Bloom Sprite on the right side here to collect on that other 3rd well, but I think it is over. I don't think there's anything else that home plate can do here. Destructive Volley doing 5 damage, but it's just 1 off from clearing this Moby here. Yeah, so game 1 going to Zzaarroocc. And moving on to game 2. So this green deck doing pretty well against the red. Obviously, usually is the better color out of the two. I wouldn't say better color, but it's the counter. So home plate looking probably for his tempo deck. He wants to be able to get to Zzaarrooc's face quickly before he has any to prevent him from having any space to collect, I would say. The swarm deck is probably not great. Decides to pick it anyway, so let's see how this turns out. You know, there was one game against Lizard where he was playing the green against Carassius, and it actually did something, so I was completely wrong there. So this might be another case of me being completely wrong. Oh, home plate running his own Moby, but I don't think he wants that right now. Yeah. And say goodbye to the Twin Soul as well. A bit too high of a land cost to have that in your starting hand. A little bit easier, Water Elemental with Fanatic. Also Aurora is a very nice early game card. If you manage to get the Battletoads out, it would be great. But we'll see. Okay. So let's see, where does he want to which side does he want to go? Okay, decides to go on to the same side here. And the Battletoads do come out, so he is able to play Battletoads for Aurora. Decides to not commit to one side. He wants to spread out. Well, I think if he's got Aurora, he should be able to commit. Like, he could play the lake here. But that means that he would have to double neutral. So he could play a lake forward, move the water elemental up. Because the Zzaarroocc wouldn't really want to trade with a 2/4 for the water elemental anyway, so that's fine. I mean, this here makes it a bit less obvious that he wants to Aurora, but does mean that he'll have to double neutral if he wants to clear it. Also means that he would have to, yeah, if he steps back, he won't be able to clear it. Whereas if he had the land here on a B3, he would still have the reach, right? Well, I mean, the answer from the Deeper Stalker is also there anyway, so he probably would be able to get rid of one of the frogs. but that's fine. Elemental though, coming out, is able to make some more aggressive lands here. I think he's just going to calmly collect with his creatures. Nothing too major. Dordia is also out now on zzaarrooc's side, so it's going to be a little bit of a problem here. He's not able to clear it. Does have Mirror Phantasm, but there's probably better targets for Homeplate to find with that. Ideally, he does want to get rid of the Dordia as soon as possible. Before he gets too big. Speaking of big, we have a Theorem Golem coming down. Just blocking Homeplate's path to zzaarrooc's face. But Aurora can come out now. Could clear the Wood Elemental pretty easily. He has managed to deny his Mystic Beast spot, which is pretty unfortunate. Yeah, I think these lands needed to be swapped around, but nothing you can do right now.
Would you like some tea?
Aurora coming out, yeah. So yeah, clearing the Wood Elemental. The Golem will be able to trade for it, but yeah, setting up a Mystic Beast nicely there will give him the option to clear that. Golem does manage to clear both of them though, so it is a bit unfortunate. And he is able to play Blossoming Kodama if he wishes, yep. So I think he wants to just keep pushing out some big beefy creatures here, just so that Homeplate isn't able to just swarm too much with the board. He has to deal with these big creatures, otherwise he will get dealt with. Wardia coming out into play now. In trade range of the Mystic Beast though, so that is one thing. Unfortunately, Homeplate getting 2 Leaping Fugus here. He's not really at the land cost. He does not control 8 lands just yet, so he can't really play this properly. Does trade the Dordia, as expected. And I think he wants to play a little bit more defensively now until we can play these Fugus. And another Volpine just coming down to ensure the collection is made. Now, Homeplate got the Moby Scarwell active. Could eat the Kodama, but then again, I think he wants to save this for something else a bit more important here. Does have Mirror Phantasm, could clear the Golem, but does he want to? So, I mean, the Leaping Fugu is going to get a 3/3 buff, so that's going to be 5/6. Will be really useful against what zzaarroocc has right now. I think he wants to Mirror Phantasm, yeah, and trade the Golem, and then play one Fugu back, I'd say. Why is he hovering over the green? Why is he playing a forest? I thought this was just a blue-yellow deck. Strange. Wait, why would he want to play the forest? It's actually really strange. Anyways, so zzaarroocc having very huge skyward swordfish here, 410. That is going to tank a lot. Well, now with the leaping fugus, it's not going to do that much because they're 5 damage. Could use it as a feed target, could be quite nice. But I think the taunt is very valuable here, so I think he wants to keep that. Oh, Wood Elemental making the forest so that the Kodama can go and trade here, very nice. The home plate. He's got the water elemental to trade this Kodama here. Oh, he's gonna feed. Oh, feeds the wood elemental here and plays the swordfish. Okay, so yeah, he is going to slightly buy some time, but I don't think it's too much of an issue. I think home plate here can just eat the swordfish right now. If he does that. He should be pretty much one on this side. Eat the swordfish, trade the Kodama with the water elemental, and then trade the Vulpine with the Fugu. So zzaarroocc here. A little bit tight on Fairy, only 4 Fairy, no feed the forest in hand either, so gonna be quite tough. Seems to look like he wants to find another taunt creature. Going for the Seek Shelter there. Dreamkeeper could be a thing. Well, out of the 3 options, I think Dreamkeeper is the one, right? Gets rid of his hand. I don't think he wants the Blossoming Kodamas anymore. He wants to look for his other creatures. Maybe a nice Oak Father could do. He's seen the Moby come out already. Mirror Phantasm has already come out as well, so not really. Shouldn't be too worried about any transforms. Of course, home plate here, just going for the clear, going for the aggression. Does he leap? I think he wants to leap this Fugu up and put another one down. I mean, I think he should put one for double collection here because he won't be able to trade anyway next turn. He won't be able to hit face with it anyway next turn. He has the Moby for the middle tile. He has the Fnatic anyway. Oh, he really wants... Okay, so he uses a Fnatic to actually get him into position for face, which I guess is fine. Does step on lands. Zzaarroocc here. Going for the Monkey Genius, but only 1 collection. So it's not really that strong. I mean, here it just looks like 2 hits, one from the Fugu, one from the Fnatic. Could be playing down a Crystal Dragon as well. Ernogrebia comes out actually. Manages to get Twin Soul Spirit. Yeah, so I think it's still the same. The 5/6 Fugu hits, and then the Fnatic hits, and then you just decides to this could be major because the D-Wood Stalker is gonna be able to clear that now. Not sure why he would want to clear that with the Moby. The D-Wood Stalker is going to he's not gonna save the day. He doesn't have any taunt. Yeah, and the guidance is not enough to get him out of the lethal range, so game 2 is going to go to home plate. So very nicely done by home plate. Okay, so on to game 3. We have the first red deck coming out from zzaarroocc. Okay, so zzaarroocc running also like a mid-range red deck here. See with the Horsemaster for some nice reach. Coming down with turn 2 with the underground boss is going to be pretty good for zzaarroocc. A lot of nice little creatures here for him to trade with and get some juicy Feria from. And there's no Aurora in hand this time, so should be able to do pretty well here. Firestorm coming out, a little bit undervalued, but I guess if he wants to prevent the collection, something he's got to do. He needs to make some time here. Does mean that he doesn't have a creature to play this turn, which is, yeah. It is major. Wow, even double neutraling and using the Silent Horsemaster to get that extra aggression. Home plate noticing what he's doing right now. Responding with Mystic Beast. Not in the greatest Mystic Beast spot there, but it is going to buff him. Another Horsemaster, so yeah, zzaarroocc really going all out for this. He really wants to get this aggression down. He even puts the Axe Grinder out of the well spot. That's how much he is valuing the tempo right now. Home plate is kind of struggling here. Doesn't have too much to work with, but he does have the combo with Aurora and a 4/2. But is it enough? I think this could be pretty tricky for home plate. Does he let zzaarroocc take another 2 Feria with this underground boss? Fnatic coming out to move the Mystic Beast? Yeah. Okay. And Aurora coming down. Oh, buffs the Mystic Beast. Okay. Yeah, decides to hold on to the last Nightmare, which is good for him, I guess. I think he only really wants to use that for Seifer and possibly a Ground Shaker. Or also Baldurian would be a great target for him. Flame Burst killing out this buffed Mystic Beast and just relentlessly putting down more creatures on board. Another boss for extra Faria. Okay. So Homeplate right now, really stuck on options. Only has the creation really. He could creation and buff another creature. Decides to use Wrath instead, Last Nightmare instead, and trade with the Fanatic. It's a pretty good clear, I'm not gonna lie. The clear is pretty good here. Homeplate's double collecting while zzaarroocc isn't. Although zzaarroocc does have a Baldurian to put down now. He's like, okay, Homeplate's on one Faria. He can't play Mirror Phantasm. Oh, we can actually play Mirror Phantasm next turn. So that's unfortunate. But Mirror Phantasm doesn't actually do that much value. Like it denies potential value, but the actual value that it gives is not that high. But he has to do it. Yeah. Has to do it. Puts him on 0 Faria again. So zzaarroocc here, he can trade. Decides to just go in and hit. Plays Ground Shaker. Okay, so getting rid of the Aurora here. Homeplate, I think, is pretty stuck for options right now. In Battletoads will stabilize the collection, but he needs something. He needs to be able to deal with face as well. And that's game. Okay, so zzaarroocc winning game 2. On to game 3. Homeplate locking in that yellow. Let's see if the yellow can pull through. Yeah, so this is actually a rush deck. So Homeplate starting off with a nice solid yellow desert at his face, probably 2 neutrals, and then another yellow. No Mistral Guide here, it seems like at the moment. Could be in his deck. If it was in his hand, it probably would he'd probably just go for 3 deserts at the start. But since there isn't one, he needs to make lands. So Shaitan Demon could be coming down, not before he finds a barter. Flame Burst coming out to clear this Brigand. Could be Ornament Monk, honestly, and then Shaitan Demon. But I think he wants to save that Monk for the prayer. Because if that gets cleared, which red can easily do, he won't be able to pray next turn. Unless he finds another Monk. So yeah, Shaitan Demon goes down. So you can hit with the Shaitan Demon or the Monk next turn, so it's quite flexible. And it is a beefy creature, so it can't really get removed, and then he can't block his face at the same time. zzaarroocc is not going to put the Horsemaster down, right? Yeah. Oh, doesn't block face though. I mean, yeah, he doesn't block face. I mean, he would have gone to the other side here anyway and made a desert, but it would have stopped the 5 damage from coming in as well. So I wasn't really sure what he was doing with that play. And I feel like he should have just played the X. Well, I mean, he probably wanted to play 2 creatures just to play around the clearance. Oh, home plate tempos out a Colossus. So he's going really hard here. And zzaarroocc stepping on his desert. Going for, yep, Ground Shaker, and then he's going to move his Horsemaster just in case he needs to use it to clear. But I think he should be able to just trade and then make another Ground Shaker. Home plate here also got a lot of removal options. Does have the Wind Soldier, or if he even wants to, the Fanatic to clear this Horsemaster. That way, zzaarroocc won't have enough Farrier to play Ground Shaker. He would have to be forced to use Seifer's Wrath. Oh, very good. He uses the Wind Soldier to collect so that he only has to play it for 2 Farrier there instead of 3. And gives him some Farrier to work with next turn as well. Okay. zzaarroocc getting the Gyarados, but not really getting the Farrier to use it. Ooh, another Colossus comes down. Home plate coming out with the second monk here. Decides to play another monk as well. Oh, and gets the prayer, so lucky. So zzaarroocc, yeah, has to get something on board. He has to get this Ground Shaker out. That's the only thing he's allowed to do this turn. Okay, so that saves him one more turn. Home plate does have the Wind Soldier. Does have the Shaitan Demon as well. Or does he just want to play the Colossus? I think playing the Colossus here is not the play. I think he wants to play Demon on the Wells. Oh, Colossus on the Wells. I mean, that does it. That does it, actually. So that's GG to home plate. So we're going 2 for 2, going to a game 5. Pretty quick games though. Pretty high tempo matches. Like to see that. Forcing zzaarroocc onto his third deck, so he's gonna have to play the bargain here. Like to see a nice bargain every once in a while. Oh, starting off a bit heavy though with the Ogre Battlers and no dances. Let's see if he wants to redraw those cards. So home plate starting again with the single desert. Doesn't have the Mistral Guide, so he's going to be making his way up. And zzaarroocc taking a different approach now, so he is going into the Wells does have the discount from the Ogre Dance to play his Battler, and he's going to play that right next to his face. He's not going to put it into collection because he knows that next turn is possible that the Flash Salmon could come out, hit his face, but unfortunately didn't play in the middle, so he couldn't really protect his face completely. He is still susceptible to on the right side. But home plate here, he's actually going very, very far right, going for the well collection here, and he's probably going to want to make another desert in the well spot, but I think will home plate deny that? I mean, will zzaarroocc deny that? I think he should. Probably is, yeah, he's forced to play out a raw Ogre Battler there. Unfortunately, could not discount it. You have a bit of a bargain shortage on zzaarrooc's side. Okay, home plate got the Kaleem's Prayer out now, so he just needs to find a way to hit face, which is going to be pretty difficult. He has left an opening, but there is no haste for home plate to utilize at the moment. Not played much events either, so the Colossus is not really something he wants to play. Maybe he feels like he's forced to play it, but I believe that it's not really something. I think you should Soul Drain first, though, buddy. Okay. So it's to play a pretty expensive Colossus as well. So it's not the zzaarrooc's not the only one playing high cost creatures here. Krog's Dinner coming out, possibly. Does he want to play it now? Does he want to wait for Krog to be in his hand? Decides to wait. Thinks he's got enough time here. He's got two Ogre Battlers protecting his face, so it's not like he is in huge trouble right now. But the right hand Ogre Battler is going down to the Wind Soldier Soul Drain combo, allowing him to hit. So one prayer. Last Nightmare is a pretty strong card right now. Fortunately cannot play it, but should be able to next turn. I think zzaarroocc is going to try and just make a land in Taunt Face, not hit in, and that's going to be great for home plate, so he can Last Nightmare that without losing any health on his. Oh, no, he goes for, okay, he goes for the hit because he can Ground Shaker, which is fair enough. And Krog's Dinner is coming out. Yeah, okay, that's a pretty good play by zzaarroocc. Now, home play with the Barter though. So the Barter is going to let him hopefully find a Seifer's Wrath for this Battler. There's is there a way he can, if he draws? Yeah. So he's gonna be pretty short on Farrier. Yeah. So he could Wind Soldier dash the Wind Soldier up to the mountain and then trade with the Mistral Guide to get the Kaleem's Prayer off. Decides to just barter. Okay, doesn't find the Seifer's Wrath. Does find Meteor though. Meteor could be the one. No, I'm joking. Hellfire is not bad either. Ogre Dance unfortunately doesn't really work well in his deck unless he's like able to just get rid of his hand and play Last Nightmare with it. But I don't think that's going to happen. He chooses a Meteor, chooses the big boy option, so I'm going to try and see something here. We're going to see a Meteor play. He decides to trade the Mistral Guide anyway. So I feel like he should have played the Wind Soldier there if he wanted to trade the Mistral Guide anyway. Maybe he's holding the Wind Soldier for Krog's dinner, but I think Krog is coming out this turn, so there's not really much he can do. Decides to make a desert back. I think he's looking to just collect and try and get enough fairy to play this meteor somehow. Zzaarroocc, I think, is predicting this. He's very wary on why homeplate hasn't played anything, I think. Could be playing the Magnus down, actually. This could be huge. I think this is something homeplate, yeah, he has to last nightmare. There's no way he can't. You can play a raw Demon Wrangler. I don't think he has to worry too much about Seifer Wrath. But I guess he doesn't want to take the risk. Alright, so now the last nightmare is being used. I think he's pretty comfortable to play Krog. Okay, decides to wait another turn. Interesting. Okay, well, Colossus is 5 costs now, so should be pretty okay to use. Not really a great place to use it though. I think that's the issue. Yeah, so Okay, so Zzaarroocc has seemed to play the Bold Bargainer. Managed to discount Meteor. So maybe we're going to see a Meteor coming out from Zzaarroocc. Yep. So that's yeah, that's a lot of progress lost from home plate. And he's also even using the neutrals to block him out, so really trying to get him to stop him from reaching face now. And it's not like he's even that close to dying. He's only on 13 health. Home plate here trying to struggle to find an out. He does have his own meteor, but not really anything he can do with it. Gets the Flash Salmon out for a quick land placement, just so that he can play his Colossus, which is actually pretty nice. Wind Soldier out coming to hit face, and possibly able to prayer as well. So he should be able to try and find something from prayer. Another follower coming out. Barter, just to see if there's any options here. Hellfire from the Barter. It's quite nice. He could be playing Wrangler here just so that the free one turns into something. And then he'll be able to get a draw as well from the Salmon into another Wind Soldier. So this could be, if he doesn't clear the... He has to either completely clear... He has to clear the Colossus and one creature, or block. The Hellfire and Homeplate's hand could be useful. Zzaarroocc replying with his own Hellfire. Krog still not coming out though. So many opportunities to come out and still hasn't. Which means that the he's given Homeplate enough time to clear the dinner. Uses his own stolen Hellfire to clear the rest of the board with a nice little follower to top it off. So yeah, he needs to try and find a way to defend face. The earth, the ground shaker here is going to help clear, but yeah, there is the Wind Soldier coming out there to finish it off there. So Homeplate winning, I think just barely though. It was a super close match. Like it was very swinging. It was swinging back and forth a lot. Homeplate just managing to get that desert out after his lands get meteored, right? So you feel like there's not really much to do, what you can do, but the Flash Salmon giving him the space to create the desert to play the Colossus was huge. Yeah, congratulations to Homeplate, he's moving on. He'll be facing Bamsa, and